Okay, we're going to do a fraction divided by a whole, and we're going to use the circle model. I'm not going to pretend that this isn't kind of complicated and a little bit on the challenging side, so please make sure that you watch this video as many times as possible. More importantly, when we're in class, make sure that you're paying close attention to the methods that we use to represent this using a picture. I'm just going to work the math down over here so that I can draw that circle model up here and my head doesn't get in the way of the camera. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 over 4. I'm using my reciprocal model again, so I'm going to change that to multiplication. This would be 5 over 1. I have to flip it though, remember? 1 over 5. If I multiply 3 times 1 straight across, there is no cross simplification here, by the way. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 5 is 20. I check to see if that can be reduced or converted to mixed numeral. It cannot, so my final answer is 3 over 20. Okay? All right, so to do this model, or any model, remember that the first thing that you have to do is draw your original question. So don't ever cross-simplify and then try and draw that. It won't be the same. We're modeling this question here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to represent 3/4 in a circle, just like that. I'm going to identify that I'm working with 3/4 by taking this piece right here and identifying that this is the piece that I'm working with. Remember that when we use fractions, we're not talking solely about whatever we're working with. This is still part of the question or the equation, so we can't ignore that. So we're going to take our 3/4, we have them here, these 3/4, 3 out of 4, and we're going to divide them into 5 pieces. So if we wanted to divide them into 5 pieces, we could estimate what 5 pieces here would be, but it's very inaccurate and we wouldn't know where those lines would go. So instead, what we do is we divide each piece into 5 and we give ourselves a new denominator. And that's pretty much what we're doing over here mathematically, right? We're dividing each one of these pieces of 4 into pieces of 5. So if I divide these into pieces of 5, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do the same to this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I also have to divide this one because remember, we're doing the exact same thing to these pieces. Even though this one is gone, it's going to give us our new denominator. So we have to include that as well in our division. So we're going to also cut this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we've ended up with now is a new denominator. We've basically created a new out of. So if we counted all these pieces up, we have a total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have a new number of possible pieces. It's 20. So when we look back at our original fraction bits here, here is our first quarter, or 1 out of 3. Here is our second 1 out of 3. And here is our third. What we want to do is we want to take one piece from each of these 3 original pieces and find out what that would be. So we're going to take 1 from each one. There's 1, 2, and here's our third. If we were to take these and slide them all together over here, this would be 3 out of 20, which is, if we were to take our original 3/4 and cut it into 5 equal pieces, that's how big each one would be. What we had to do in order to see that in a picture is take our original piece, our whole piece, or our pie, and find a new denominator because we cut each piece into little pieces, and then we took the number and we push them together and we end up with 3 out of 20.